All right, I have a new show coming out every week I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be answering questions from you, and it's called Ask Swenk. So when I was going through my agency struggles and trying to get to the next level, I didn't have anybody to turn to. That is why I'm creating this show. So I want you to go to jasonswank.com/AskSwenk. All right, let's go ahead and read the first question. So Angus Watts says, "Hey Jason, I do enjoy reading your information and I get a lot from it." Well, thanks. In answer to your question, the biggest challenge I have right now is generating new leads. I have a high conversion rate once I get in front of a prospect, but I have trouble getting new leads to send proposals to. I run a small local-based web design business in Australia. Cheers, Angus. Well, Angus, the biggest thing on generating leads is to know who you're going after specifically and get a laser focused. You know, for years and years, I ran this blog, jasonswank.com, that you're looking at, and I wasn't specific on who I was targeting, right? So a lot of big mistakes people make is saying, I'm going to target small business, or I'm going to target B2B or B2C. And then they stop there versus breaking it down a couple levels and really identifying that audience and figuring out what are their biggest challenges. Because then when you figure out what their biggest challenges are, then you can actually start writing content that can help them that they may be searching for. You can figure out what publications that they read, what technologies that they use, what associations do they go to, what trade shows, all of this once you get a laser focused. And people are going to look at you as you have expertise. Okay, so for years and years, we were just a web design shop, okay? And so we were only getting local-based people wanting websites because they wanted to work with someone local, and they treated it more as a commodity. But then when we started getting a specialization and a niche, we started having people all around the world reaching out to us, working with us, which separated us from the people in their own backyard. So the biggest thing about generating leads and generating more leads is to laser focus. Now, this is not saying that you're going to turn down work outside of your niche. I'm just saying pick a market, pick a very laser focused market and market to it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And try it out. And then once you master that, then you can go on to other ones as well. Peter asked me, the biggest challenge we're going through right now is cash flow and profitability. We have a decent sized portfolio of clients on the recurring retainers. We do over 1.5 million in revenue, but as we grow, ramp up more staff, and we're 30 now, awesome, cash is always tight. It's tough to push out our margins to a comfortable level. So there's a number of different things that you can do with increasing your cash flow. I went through the same challenges. I remember coming into the office one day and saying, oh my gosh, looking at the bank account, that was our gauge, right? We were looking at the bank account going, we have this big of a payroll and we have this much coming in and this much in the bank. And so we almost had to go through a process of laying off. But after that, I said, there's no more. We're going to get through this and we're going to create positive cash flow and we're going to be able to operate for 6 months if no projects came in. And we were able to do that. And this is how we did it. So first thing that we did was we changed our payment terms. Okay. You know, I noticed you said you were on retainers, which is great. I always tried to lead with a project first because a lot of times your retainers that you're doing for clients, you're front loading all the work and then you're gradually not doing too much in the back end. So in the first 3 months, first 4 months, you're doing all the work. So I like to do 4-month engagements. And I would say if I was charging $5,000 a month on retainer, I would bump it up to maybe $40,000 for the particular project or whatever your number is. And then I would ask them for 50% up front before we even start. So that's huge cash flow infusion. Halfway through the project, I would do a quarter or at the certain date, whichever comes first, and then the same thing at the end. This allowed us to get paid sometimes 30% or 100% of the project before we're even 30% done. And it was a huge influx in cash. So that's just one way. Other ways are negotiate your terms with your vendors that you're paying, your contractors, stuff like that. But if you do those two things, that will start increasing your cash flow. And then you'll be able to, the last thing I would tell you to do is do cash flow projections, looking at your accounts receivable and all of that. All right, last question for this week. Miguel says, lately I've had issues keeping high-paying clients. In return, it causes me to get more lower-paying customers who want a one-shot service and small campaigns generating less income. Being that I don't have much staff, it's really me and a couple outsourced workers. My main question here is, how do I keep these clients or get back, and really take it up to the next level and not lose these accounts? Well, Angus, the biggest thing that you need to do is find that hybrid person, that account manager, that project manager, right? Find that divide. All of our guys were project managers / account managers. Okay, so they were able to maintain that account. They were able to take it up a level and make sure that we were delivering the work that we needed to, and always had that idea of what can we upsell them and keep that account happy. Right now it's just you and your contractor. Your contractors don't care about you. They just care about getting paid and delivering the work that you tell them to do. And you're off to doing, sales and running everything else an agency takes. So the first hire I would tell you to do if you want to keep these bigger contracts is get a project manager / account manager. It's going to save you in the long run.
Get up!